very supportive. I always hear you talk about your mother.
Well, she's horrified by all the movies, but at the end, when, yeah, she still wished I made other kind of movies, but she's very proud. And yes, after a while, they take it over. My father lent me the money to make these movies, and not this one, but I paid him back for Pink Flamingos, and he got all the money back. And I said, "Can I borrow the next one?" He said, "No, but you didn't go to college, so take this money and you don't have to pay me back and put it into Female Trouble," which was amazing. And then I raised money from friends to make this. And the people that are in it, the main people, I just sent everybody a check last week for Female Trouble. For real. And the actors in it, Divine's Estate and everything. And it's great that Warner Brothers distributes this now. Who would have ever thought, And they'll be happy. We did great tonight, right? Yeah.
I watch one of your films, there's always something I forgot happened. I was like, how could I forget?
I'm always trying to forget. Yeah.
Is there anything that still shocks you when you watch it?
It all kind of shocks me because I look at it and think, oh my God, where did that come from? Where did that idea, like fucking someone with a toolkit, I don't know where that came from, really. I'm not into needle nose pliers.
They fuck you with the chickens between them.
The chickens was in Pink Flamingos. There's not chickens in this.
No, but I'm saying in that film, that's always shocked me.
Well, it was. I probably wouldn't do that today, but Danny ate the chicken. The guy that played Crackers ate the chicken, and they got fucked, and it was in a movie. So, its life was better, I think. But I eat meat, so I wouldn't probably do that today. But that was influenced by Mondo Cane and those kind of movies that showed that at the time. It's really hard to remember, except for the few things in this when they say, "I blew Richard Speck." What a ludicrous thing to say, But then it came out later, Richard Speck on death row got tits, if you ever saw that. That happened after this, before he died. So you never know what's going to happen. But the only thing sometimes is dating it, putting when he says, "I want to be on Walter Cronkite," which was really showing the time it was made in. This was filmed in 1973. That's almost 40 years ago.
Your life has been closely intertwined a little bit with the Manson family and all of this.
Well, that's a serious thing that I've sort of been role model, sort of apologize even for, in a way, using that in such a smart-ass way with the victims and all the families and everything. So, and my sort of very serious trying to get one of Leslie Van Houten, one of the persons that were very unfortunately involved in that case. So it's very changed. But yes, I went to that trial, and you can see the influence in these two movies, Pink Flamingos and this, was very, very influenced. Because we were trying to scare hippies, and in a way that was humor, and thank God I had the outlet to do all this stuff, or God knows what it would have been like. But unfortunately, they did it for real, and it all happened at the same time. So it's a very complicated story, which isn't funny, actually. But I do see that when I see these movies, yes.
And the ending, it's basically prophetic of what people will now do to be a celebrity. It's way beyond.
And I'm against the death penalty very much. I think, when they were trying to give it to Casey Andrews or whatever, that's why she got off, because you can't threaten that for people, really. I mean, I'm mostly 99.5% against it, yes.
Last night, the American Cinematheque Award, Robert Downey forgave Mel Gibson and brought him up.
Well, Mel Gibson didn't do anything to him, did he?
Right. And in your book, you're behind Leslie. What level can people forgive, and where does that?
I believe in forgiveness, but I'm not the victim. I'm talking about forgiveness from society's viewpoint. She met a man when she was 17. She's been in jail for 40 years. They tell her there is parole for someone that does good time, which she certainly has, and that's what I'm arguing. But I also, in my book Role Models, talk all the things that the victim's family say against her, so which I think is fair, even though a defense lawyer doesn't ever do that. So it's a very complicated story, and but I do believe that people can get better after something really terrible that happens, and she should have gone to jail. But 40 years is a long time. Yeah.
I'm going to open up some audience questions right there.
Gap boxer shorts.
I love it.
Right there.
It's a two-parter.
Okay.
I'd like to know what your favorite present that you ever received from a fan was, and actually have a present for you.
Oh, wow. I wish I remember his name. Somebody gave me a painting of the wallpaper in Don Davenport's apartment in here. That's a really great painting. I really like that. So that's a good one. Let's see what this is here. Uh-oh. I don't have my glasses on, so I don't want to rip the paper here. Hold on. Jail weddings. Is this music for jail weddings? Good, very nice, very nice. Nice follow-up. Thank you.
John's going to be signing up here afterwards. You can, right there.
How long did it take you to shoot the trampoline scene?
Well, Divine, I remember Divine took lessons from a man named Mr. Castor at the YMCA as a man, and he never asked any questions. He didn't know what it was for, and he came to that night, and he just burst out laughing when he walked in and saw what it was. And he was very good, though. He taught Divine good because Divine was really frightened to do that flip. And Mr. Castor, I salute him. He was his teacher, and I think I had enough budget for maybe 3 lessons. And but he came that night, and he talked Divine through it. And you can see how happy Divine is once he does it when he gets up. He's so excited because I told him if he did it, I would never do a second take. So, right there.
I know you're a big fan of William Castle films, and I've always wondered why you've never done any type of like horror or thriller movie.
Well, I haven't done a horror film, but my mother thinks they all are, I promise you. I don't know. I mean, William Castle, his daughter Terry just put out a book called The Prayer, where you can buy William Castle's book From Beyond the Grave, where you sign an insurance policy. It's so great that you won't, if you die of fright reading it, it's so great. I don't know that I've done just a plain horror movie, and it's true, I've satirized almost every other genre there is. But in all my movies, I have some horror. You can see it. Even in this, there's gore. I always had gore in the old days and stuff. And I don't know. I think it's, maybe I will make one. I don't know. Hi. Thank you.
With the kind of recent explosion of LGBT rights, and we're seeing kind of a liberalization with this young generation, have you noticed a difference in the reaction between the young people who saw your films, say in the 70s, juxtapose that with today?
I think the audience that saw my films in the beginning and the audience here tonight is very, very similar. It's people that don't fit in their own minorities. I think this is a very mixed crowd, and I see all ages, I see all types, so I don't think it's that different. I think it's people that have a sense of humor, they're a little bit angry, that exaggerate what everybody else has used against them their whole life and turned it into a style. I think it looks very similar, very similar.
Do you think the world's getting more uptight? They're getting less square, maybe, but they're getting more uptight. Do you feel people?
No, I think it's less uptight, certainly, than when I was young, yeah. I think now everybody tries too hard to be weird. I get weary of that, Yeah. It has to be internal. Well, Van Smith did all the costumes for all my early movies, and I think, Van, he did right up to The Dirty Shame, the last one, and he did the makeup and all these, and Van was a huge part of it. Van and Vincent Pereira, who did the sets, and Pat Moran, who did the casting with me, and I was involved a lot, but Van did it, and when Van died a few years ago, and he got the most amazing obituaries in the LA Times, the New York Times, and Women's Wear Daily, really, that he would have been so honored to read them, really. So it was completely Van Smith, and Role Models is dedicated to Van, the memory of Van, and he was a huge, huge part of it. He really made Divine very confident to look like that, and he thought up all of the wedding dress for the seats, all that kind of stuff was really all Van. And all the makeup, I love the scene where he shaved his head so he has more room, and the eyeliner goes all the way to the back of his head, that's beyond Cleopatra eye makeup, yeah.
Edith's costumes always look somewhat painful to her.
Well, Edith, yeah, fashion hurts, she was glad to wear these compared. No, she hated that black one. Oh, she hated that outfit. But then, when she got in the punk rock band, she had to get another one made, and she did it herself because she wore it. But she hated that outfit. She liked her clothes in Desperate Living because she was the queen and she could wear queen outfits. Yes.
I think you inspire me to be an artist. What inspires you as an artist?
What inspires me really is the behavior of people that think they're normal, that act insane. People that I see in Baltimore, I think, what? Actually, that looks good, or I don't know. But I respect those people, and I'm always fascinated by people's behavior. I watch people, so I'm never bored. I don't understand how anybody can be bored, or why anyone watches reality shows. Just go outside. You live in a reality show. You don't have to watch other people and think you're better than them. I'm against that. Right.
Right in the middle.
Yeah. Hi, Mr. Waters.
Hello.
I just wanted to say that Serial Mom is just pretty much one of the greatest films ever
Thank you.
made.
That was the only movie where we had enough money.
Quick story I wanted to tell you. I thought you might find it amusing. My mother's always been like a real mouse. I mean, very passive and everything like that. And ever since I saw Serial Mom, I always ask her, why can't you be more like Beverly? And she totally hates the film.
Really? My mom likes it, and I thought she'd be upset. She said, I am like that. I hate people that chew gum. I do too. It really gets me annoyed. And I'm worse about wearing white after Labor Day. I'm more fascist. I think you can't wear velvet before Thanksgiving. You can't wear patent leather before Easter. Men should never wear leather pants unless you're a Nazi or Jim Morrison. Men over 25 in skinny jeans is mortifying. A tube top is bad for anybody. And if you notice the belt first, that's belt abuse. Never do that. And also, if you're old enough to remember a style the first time, you are too old to wear it again. Well, I do, and I've actually been lucky. I've gotten to work with most of them. Meryl Streep. I think she's great. That's the one I would love to work with. But I've been lucky, and I'm trying to make this other movie, Fruitcake, and so I usually have been able to meet the actor. I mean, I can always tell that we're not going to work if we have the meeting if they talk about their craft. I hate that word. And also, the journey they've been on. Those two words. I don't say the J word.
Way back there.
I was wondering if you could speak to how during the creative process you come to an idea where you go, no, maybe I shouldn't do that.
Oh, I shouldn't do it. I don't think that. I think, I always get a title first. A title really helps me. And then I pick up all the characters first, and then I have pages where I develop what the characters like. That's all easy, and then the plot's the hard part. But too far? I don't think that. I'm trying to think, can I make it funny? And I've tried to do things where I wrote and I think maybe that it didn't work and I changed it, but I'm never trying to go too far. I'm just trying to make you laugh at things maybe that you haven't laughed at before, or use humor to get your attention. I learned in grade school the term shock value, and they said that you just use it once in everything you write to get people's attention so they'll listen. And I paid too much attention to that lesson, really. But I think you have to, if you're going to surprise people, is what I'm trying to do. Shock's easy. There's a lot of shocking movies, but they're not funny, and they're gross, but they're not funny, really, to me. So the new bad taste tries too hard, I think.
Right there.